All right, we're back at the van. That was a long winter. So I started working on it again the other day and my battery was dead, so I couldn't record, and I didn't want to put it off because the weather's been so slim. So here we are. The motor is back in place. I didn't even take the chain off yet, and yeah, we've got some work to do up here. I'm gonna replace all these wow, this pulley's totally seized. I'm gonna replace all these pulleys. This motor's been sitting around for a while. I kind of cobbled this motor together from 3 different motors, so the motor itself only has like 127 on it, and then I had taken the turbo off it a long time ago, so I took this turbo off the donor van. It was running when I took it apart, so I took the turbo off of that, and I took something off of something else, I don't remember. Oh, and then I took the alternator off of that too, and the wiring harness was still on this motor from when I took it out of the original van. I had bought this motor to put in another project, and it didn't work out, but I bought that van. I drove it like 120 miles, so I know this motor was good years ago, so hopefully nothing funny happened to it. So still we have to get I broke this guy off, so we need to get that, and this guy broke off right here, and the original one that was crashed was broken, and then I have another one over there that this one's broken too, so I need to come up with a plan for that. I'm not sure what's going to go on with that. But otherwise it's looking pretty good. Let's see, I put the seat pedestal in over here, so I know this is just parts all over the place, but without the parts here it looks a lot cleaner. Like, so I mean this was just a mess of wires just sitting there. Now it's kind of a mess of wires in here, but it looks a lot easier to deal with right now. So all right, I'm not sure what's next. We still need to hook up the drive shaft, and let's see what's going on under here. So we've got this tail right here that we have to deal with and hook it up to the wires from the back, and the drive shaft needs to be hooked up. I put a new transmission mount on it. I just haven't bolted it down on the top side, but the mount itself is still there. So and then I switched the front end over, so this is the original front end from this van. So I think that's kind of where we're at right now. And this drive shaft, I think the motor that was in here before and the tranny that was in here before, oh, that tranny was out of the donor van. So, and the tranny that was in here before had a bad transmission mount, and so I don't know if the previous owner did it or what, but they put a brand new drive shaft in here, which is pretty cool. So, and then this next one up isn't new, but this is a newer one that I got out of a different van. So yeah, but that was pretty sweet. That's got a new drive shaft in there. So all right, well, let's keep moving on from here. I don't know what's gonna go next, but when I come up with a plan, I'll get back to you. Oh, the reason why I mentioned the drive shaft and the tranny mount is so I think they misdiagnosed, because when you have a bad tranny mount, when you first start it clunks, and so I think they thought they had a bad drive shaft, but it was actually a bad tranny mount. So that's why I mentioned that. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention, so the crank position sensor is in the back down here, and it is just really difficult to get to that that sensor. So while it was out, before I put the motor back in, I had to like chisel that thing out of there because I wasn't sure if it was good or not. It's been sitting around for so long. And then I took one from the other van that new was running, the donor van was running, so I took that one out and I put that one in there, and I put some copper never sees on that, so if I ever to place it, it'll come out easy, because like you wouldn't be able to replace that. You'd have to pull the motor to get that out of there, or pull the tranny or something like that. It was like, with the motor out and me having easy access to it, it took over an hour to get that thing out of there. It was painful. All right, I think we're just going to switch the transmission, the power steering pump, just to get some momentum going. Oops. I've got one from the other van that is only, that van only had like 90, I think it had 80 something thousand on it, but I bought it. The people had I don't know how, but they overheated it somehow with 80,000 miles on it. They blew the head gasket on it, so that's the way I got it. And then I never did anything with that motor, so we'll just swipe the power steering pump off of that. It's easy. It's only 3 bolts. All the lines are already disconnected, so it seems like a logical thing to do. So I had considered like just like rethreading that hole, but I mean, that other pump has such low miles on it. I was like, why wouldn't I just use that one? But it's also been sitting for a super long time, so that could be a problem. We'll see what happens. Life's a gamble. All right, that was super easy. All right, I feel like this is just like instant gratification, which is doesn't happen a lot with this project, so I'll take it where I can get it. This was so easy. Oh, this feels so good. All right, progress. Yeah, well, I guess progress. Like you would think the power steering pump wasn't broken to start with, but here we are. All right. Three easy bolts. Guess we need to hook up the steering shaft at some point there. That'd be helpful. All right, new power steering pump. All right, we'll go for easy score number 2. Get the AC compressor mounted up here. And so with this van, you just leave all the AC hooked up when you remove the motor. Then you don't have to discharge the system. So this AC, hopefully, I didn't try out the AC on the van beforehand, but hopefully this is working. Just 3 bolts. This is super easy. Uh-oh. Alright, this isn't cooperating. Uh-oh. Okay, got a couple in there. Let's see, where's the third one? Where's the third one? Oh, it's way back here. Okay, apparently I got no threads. Okay, let's try that again. This isn't as easy as I thought it was gonna be. This thing's kind of heavy. I think that's going in. Nope. Okay, I think that's it. All right, that looks like we got in there a little bit. Oh, let's get these other ones in. You know what? Those holes are corroded from hanging out without anything in them for so long. That's why it's being so difficult. And then this guy goes in right down here. All right, so now I just need to tighten those guys up. Okay, one AC pump in, and then while we're here, here's the, let's see, where's this coming from? Got the little sensor line for the AC right here. We'll fish it around this way, and then this guy just plugs in right here. Oh, that's so satisfying. There you go. I don't really like that. That's supposed to be wired up somewhere. No, we'll fix that later. All right, we're gonna put the air intake for the heater in, just to get some of the big parts out of the way, and then just the less parts that are lying around, the less confusing it is. All right, here's a little vacuum actuator line here. So make sure you get this hooked up beforehand. It's just easier, as I recall. I don't know. And make sure you check that afterwards too, because sometimes when you're wiggling around in here, it just gets disconnected. As I recall, there's like five nuts here. All right, I couldn't find all the nuts. I think this is the right one. I'm not sure, but I got 2 of these, so I'm just gonna like get it up here just to get it out of the way. And then as all the parts start dissipating, then we'll put the other ones up here. All right, so I just put this one in. It's just holding it in. Then there's another one up here. There's one right there. We've got another one right there. All right, so now it's just sitting there right now, kind of, but it's out of the way, and now it's one less part to worry about, except I forgot to put the plug in. Let me get that on there. So, all right, now it's starting to look like an engine compartment coming. All right, I came across the transmission mount and the drive shaft bolts. And I've been avoiding coming under here because I'm gonna have to deal with this nonsense at some point, which is very daunting. So let's just get a couple of easy things in here again, and yeah, get the drive shaft bolts in, and the mount's in, but I just need to put the bracket in. So these are 16s, and they just go right up here. Slide this guy in. Oh no! Oh, I'm such a moron. Oh, this has to go in at the same time. All right. Well, let's see if I can get that in there. Hold on a sec. All right. Well, we're gonna skip that for now, and just get these drive shaft bolts in. So let's just see if we can get this thing lined up. Oh, okay, it's in gear. So let's. Okay, I think that's neutral. Yep. Oh no! Oh, oh God! I'm torturing myself here. Can I turn it? Oh, okay, great. So just put a little blue Loctite on these. All right, I just did a quick inspection of these wires right here, and there doesn't seem to be any repeating colors. There are these two brown ones right here that are repeating, but they're different gauge wires, and this black one and this black one the same. All right, I got all my tools out. I got this a while back. This soldering thing by Power Probe. I've only used it once or twice, so we'll see how this how I like it really afterwards. But these things are great. These are our safety glasses, and since I'm over 40 they have a place right here so you can look through, so it helps you magnifying things, see up close. So these things are a big help. All right, so here's the first one. This is still hot, and I try to get this on here early on because sometimes I forget and then I have to resolder it, get this guy back on here. And I ended up using this little mini torch right here. I couldn't get enough heat out of that Power Probe thing. It's a bit windy out here. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. So just gonna continue on with this. All right, I got carried away. Here's what it looks like. And then I had these two leftover wires, which I believe are for the trailer hitch. But this camper part of the van, they ran their own. There's a separate loom like right here, and I believe this is for the trailer stuff. So this, I think, takes over for these guys. All right, next up, the fuel tank. I got these fuel lines in here. I had to take these fuel lines out, so it took me a few tries to get them in the right spot. They snap into place like right up here. All right, well, here's where we're at. I put this little tent guy up because the sun was super strong the other day and it just really beat me up. And so we made some good progress here. All the cooling stuff is in. Got the cross member in here, and this had the classic where the nut breaks underneath, and so I put a rib nut under there, and someone had ripped this off of here or something, so I just put this washer here to make up for that. And let's see, have a new air filter coming tomorrow, and this guy is pretty much all set up here. I think I'm missing a hose clamp right here, but everything's pretty tight in here right now. I didn't you know, I had broken the this little fitting off for the brake booster, and so it had broken off like right at the edge right here. So I just took a triangular file and I just filed, and then I did it again. I just kept doing it till I could take a little section out,
and then just did the best I could. I initially had like run a tap in there and threaded some threads into that plastic piece, and then put a bolt in there, tried pulling it out. That didn't work. But then after I cut that section out, then I put the bolt in, and it pulled out. So I need to figure out how I'm gonna get this back in here. I guess you just push it in, I don't know. So that shouldn't take that long. And yeah, it's looking good. And I think, let's see, I don't know if there's anything else in summary, but I'm pretty excited. So after today, I think most of the big things will be checked off, and then hopefully tomorrow I can start this thing up. So yeah, I think I'm gonna just end the video here, and then the next time hopefully we'll try to do a first start on this thing. And I'm super psyched. It feels like a van now. Like it's pretty much all together at this point, so pretty excited. Catch you later.